What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new video. Now, I want to make this video to kind of help everybody out who's new to Elden Ring, who's new to a From Software game, never played a Dark Souls game in their life, and is just starting out this game, doesn't know what direction to take. So, I want to let you guys know that stats matter. Stats are very important when it comes to leveling up your character. My level's about 102, and I'm about 89 hours into this game. It is huge. Like, look at this map. This is only like half of it. About a little over half. Well, not even. Yeah. Plus, you've got the underground areas. Yeah. So, stats are very important. With this game, you need a lot of runes to level up. As you can see, I need 64,299 runes to get my next level. But in my personal experience with this game, vigor, which is your health, is going to be like very, very useful, especially against bosses if you're starting out and you're not familiar with a type of game like this. You definitely want to put some points, a lot of points into vigor, at least 30, as well as endurance. Now, endurance is where you're essentially going to have your equip load, and it's very important because, yes, although you can wear heavy gear, you will be fat rolling. If you are not wearing heavy gear, and for example, your equip load is like 40, your equip load is like 70, 80, but everything you have on altogether is like the equivalent of 40. Here you can see max equip load. Max weight of equipable armaments and armor. Movement slows as load increases. Exceed this number and movement slows dramatically. Now, for equip load, you've got to upgrade your endurance. For stamina, you've got to upgrade your endurance. You also get an additional boost to those as well. So it governs stamina, also affects robustness, and it determines how heavy your equipment can be. So obviously the higher equip load, the more heavier gear you can use. However, if you have anything close to your max equip load, you'll be fat rolling. Let me show you what fat rolling is. So let's say we take this off and we throw on this armor. Now this is going to be a late game armor. I'm going to make a video on how to get it. It's the Tree Crucible outfit. Okay, so this is fat rolling. And it can be a lot worse than this too. But you do not want to be doing this when you're fighting a boss, because he will destroy you. Okay. Moving on from endurance. Let's kind of go into like the builds a little bit. If you're rocking a Confessor build, which is what I'm doing, you want to put points into health, endurance, and faith or intelligence, and mind. Strength is also important too, but it depends if you're doing a quality build. So you could put points into dexterity. I'm not going to as much, because there are talismans that boost every stat up by like, well, not every stat, but some stats up by 3. It's just with dexterity, it's not really all that important to me with this character. I'm not doing a quality build. If you're doing a prisoner, health, endurance, strength, and either faith or intelligence. Now, I'm going to show you guys some spells. So, for example, we've got this Rotten Breath spell. We've got all these different dragon spells that take faith and that take arcane. Like, it's insane. Although I haven't been able to find one yet that does faith, that does intelligence and arcane. So they must all be pegged to faith builds. All the dragon shrine spells. And then you've got intelligence. There are some intelligence spells, like these, like this one. This one requires intelligence and arcane. But most of these require intelligence. Here's one that requires intelligence and faith. So, if you're doing an intelligence build, you might want to hold off on upgrading the faith until you get a spell that you need. So just keep putting points into intelligence. If you're rocking a prisoner build or a confessor build, if you're rocking either one of them and you're doing a faith build, vice versa. This skill, on the other hand, requires intelligence to be 17 and faith to be 17. So there are some faith miracles and incantations that require intelligence and faith. Well, I wouldn't say as much when it comes to incantations, but mostly when it comes to like miracles, you need like some sort of mix between faith and intelligence. Now, there's this really great weapon. It's a late game weapon that's very good. This one, the Sword of Night and Flame. This one requires stats all around. Strength 12, Dexterity 12, Intelligence 24, and Faith 24. Like, if you come down here under Attributes Required, this is to fully use all of its effects. You need, like, stats across all four. Now, you've got Ordovis's Greatsword, which gives you, you gotta have stats for 3. This one you gotta have stats for 2. Most of them you gotta have stats for 2. Either dexterity and strength. So obviously have your dexterity up a little bit. It's not too critical. On the other hand, some of them are strength, dexterity, intelligence, strength, dexterity, faith. So it depends if you're going a faith build or if you're going an intelligence build. So this would be an ideal weapon for somebody who runs an intelligence build character. Intelligence build character is someone who's like casting intelligence sorceries, and they're just like primarily focused on that, but is also wielding like intelligence build weapons, like the meteoric ore blade that I'm showing you here, for example. And there's other ones too, like the moon veil, which is another good one. There's all kinds of different variations of intelligence and intelligence weapons that require a lot of intelligence, and there are a lot of intelligence spells for the character that you're running. So you could go either route. Now, there's going to be some classes that, you could go Vagabond, you could go Wretch, you could go Samurai, whatever class that you think sounds awesome. Samurai, you're going to probably want something more with dexterity. But I feel like in some shape or form, you're going to be putting points into intelligence, faith, and arcane, just to be able to use certain weapons to their potential, their max potential. But Confessor's a really popular one, and Prisoner. So for Confessor, I would be doing Vigor, Endurance, Mind, Strength, Strength so you can deal more damage and build up your physical defense. This is really great for wielding heavy weapons. Heavy weapons are essentially like two-handed, like you got a great sword, or you've got a colossal sword like this. This is a colossal sword. This is a colossal sword right here. Yeah, colossal swords are pretty awesome. They deal a lot of damage. Most of them, in a lot of circumstances, are basically insta-kill weapons, but they require a lot of strength and a lot of endurance. So if you're doing a strength build, yeah, definitely strength, endurance, and health. But if you're doing a faith build, faith and strength, which is what I like to do, you got vigor, endurance, strength, faith, and mind. Those are the key 5 that I'm upgrading. My mind is a little lackluster. I've got 17 on my mind, and I don't really have a lot of FP, but I make it work with this build. So yeah, this is my faith strength build, and you could follow the same route if you really want to. I have found myself doing using a lot of weapons that have blood buildup, because it's just so crucial when it comes to boss battles. You could also very well do like two-handed weapons. Samurai is great for two-handed weapons, from what I've seen. But for that, like I said, you'll need dexterity. You'll need to do like a quality build. Get your endurance up. That should help a little bit. Get your strength. Well, probably not so much your strength, just mostly dexterity and endurance. So there's various different routes that you can take when it comes to like doing a build for your character. For my faith strength build, I've just found having to do vigor, endurance, strength, and faith, and mind here and there. I'm probably going to start putting more points into mind, because the more FP I have, the more casting I can do. The more faith I have, the more powerful miracles and incantations that I can do. It's really interesting that equip load is pegged to endurance, because equip load used to be pegged to strength, and you can run with the heaviest armor in this game, but you'll be fat rolling because of your equip load. So you can run, but you can't really roll effectively. Now, what happens if you have your equip load completely off, like way low? You can roll around like this. Yeah, this is going to be very critical in a boss fight, is being able to flawlessly roll around like that. So I've been, like I said, if you look at these weapons, they're a little bit upgraded. But the blood loss buildup, yeah, I've found myself using a lot of that in this game. So that's the skill of the Bloodhound's Fang. But if I switch from that to this weapon, I'm going to show you this Ash of War. This is a normal strike. Let's two-hand this. It's It's going to be more effective two-handed. But here comes the special ability. Okay, that is the Bloody Slash Ash of War. Now we're going to go a little bit into flasks. So you've got your Cerulean Tears and your Crimson Tears. Crimson Tears restore your HP, Cerulean Tears restore your FP, and you can allocate these however you want. Over here, once you've unlocked your first grays, you can allocate your flasks back and forth. You can be like, alright, I want all to be in flasks and none to be in FP. This would be ideal for somebody who's not casting at all and just goes in there and wants to like body a bunch of bosses. If you're doing a lot of casting, you might want to have some heals. So I kind of just go 5 and 5 or 5 and 6 most of the time, or 7 and 4. 7 and 4 seems to work for me. And then this is where to change out all your spells. And this is also going to be something that's very important. This you get in the Church of Marika. Well, pretty close to there. You have to go... Where's it at? You have to go to the War Master Shack. And then from the War Master Shack, you've got to go to the third Church of Marika. And there's going to be like, that's where you get your physique. If we go to the War Master Shack, this guy sells Ashes of War, but he's basically useless after you buy all of them. So you can kill him and you can take his armor, which we're gonna probably do later. Not in this video. So let's go back to where we were. Ashes of War are critical for a lot of weapons. They allow you to put skills on your weapons, essentially. So if we click on this, we've got all kinds of Ashes of War. This one kind of lets you like go invisible for a minute and like dash unseen. Yeah, you've got all these different potential skills that you can equip to your weapon. Now I should note that some of these they require like a great sword or a standard pierce weapon, but if you go to like a straight sword, there's gonna be a little bit more options for it. If you go to a colossal sword, like this one, colossal swords are gonna have a little bit less options available to them, but still a good amount. Curved sword, more options. Katanas, way more options. There's a lot of freedom with katanas. Twin blades as well, lots of freedom there. Great axes, a little bit of freedom, just like great swords. Flails, less. Spear, you're gonna have a lot of freedom. Spears are like way OP too. Claws, not so many. Scythes, little bit of freedom. So yeah, that covers leveling, that covers builds, that covers, actually we haven't completely covered builds. If you wear, let's say, the Queen's Robe, for example, or any kind of like sorcery or astrologer robe, This is going to be good if you're casting, because it'll give you like a bonus on magic, fire, lightning, and holy damage resistance. And it'll boost your vitality and focus resistance, as well as your poise. So you're bound to take less damage and freely like move around a lot more. And then you've got your talismans. Talismans are really critical. They boost your stats or boost your skills to some degree. So right here, this raises intelligence, this raises faith, this raises HP, this raises FP, this raises like HP, stamina, and equip load. This raises all kinds of different attributes. If we take this off, you can see what it raises. So without it, 35, 17, 30, 22, 15, 16, 30, 16 on our character stats. But if we equip it, it gives like +3 on everything, which is really nice. That's probably my favorite talisman. And then lightning damage resistance, fire damage resistance. And then these are all like attack resistance and lots of help. Casting raises potency of incantations. So this like gives you more damage when it comes to using incantations. If I had a 4th slot, I'd probably be rocking this. Reduce damage from headshots. A lot of these talismans are going to be great for any build, regardless. Back to the grace. You've got great runes. These will come a little bit later. But back to the physique. So you get the physique at that Church of Marika, and then you can start unlocking it and getting all these tiers from killing bosses. So once you kill bosses and you get some of these tiers, you start unlocking a lot of different benefits. So this will restore your half of your HP. This will restore slowly, gradually your HP. This will boost stamina recovery speed, boost strength, poise, magic attacks, fire attacks, lightning attacks, holy attacks, charged attacks, negates damage and mixed physique. So this puts a bubble around you. So it protects you from one hit. Eliminates all FP consumption and mixed physique. This one I would recommend everyone get who starts out. If you can get to the boss who drops it. I don't remember who it is. I'm gonna look back through my videos to see who drops this, and then I'm gonna upload a video on it. But this is probably one of the better physique tiers out there, because if you're starting out and you manage to beat the boss who drops this, and you put this on your character, this is going to protect you at least from one attack. And then you can do some casting, you can heal, you can summon. So like, what I mean by summon is, if you have any of these, like these ashes, you can summon these to help you out and distract your enemy. And then these are quite resourceful, but they require a lot of FP, so you got to make sure you have the amount of FP. Like this one requires 74 and we've got 90. This is going to require most of our FP. This one requires 95 and we have 90, so I couldn't even use this if I wanted to unless I upgraded my FP. Let's see, what else do we need to cover? You can alter your garments later on once you unlock a sewing needle tool kit. You can do crafting as well. Yeah, that's the other thing. Item crafting is going to be really useful. You'll unlock cookbooks throughout the game, which will allow you to craft. And the more you loot off of the land, like plants and stuff and essential tools, materials to build these, to craft these together and use them, it'll be really nice for you. But I personally haven't crafted anything from here except for these Furl Calling Finger Remedies. You get these later on. And you get these earthly flowers like at the beginning of the game, but that you pick across the land, and these are spread across the game. But these allow you to essentially summon other players to your world to help with a boss, to help with an area. It's really nice. But when you start this game, hang on, let me put my let me put my gear back on that I was wearing, because I'm gonna need it for this next part. Okay, when you start this game, I definitely recommend getting all the map fragments too. And then there's going to be 2 medallions that you need to get up here. Well, 2 halves of a medallion to get up here. I uploaded a video on that. I also uploaded a video on how to get to Nokron City, which is like down here. So you're probably going to want to give those a watch once you get later in the game. But let's see. Once you get started in the game, you're going to come to the first step. Now there are going to be all these stone sword keys that you get, and you definitely don't want to neglect on those. You definitely want to pick all of those up. But over here, there's going to be a boss in front of us. But we've already beat him, so for you can just go around him, and then you come to this church right here. There's a grace. There's also a smithing table, which will allow you to strengthen your armaments, strengthen your weapons, reinforce them, make them more powerful. And then there's going to be this merchant here. You can buy a crafting kit from him. This will allow you to craft. You can buy some cookbooks from him, as well as like some notes on the Flask of Wondrous Physique, kind of telling you like information about it, and then information on the Waypoint Ruins. Waypoint Ruins are also is also going to be somewhere where you need to go. For all calling fingers for summoning players. You can also buy some gear here, but I would wait off on the gear. I would definitely like level up your character a bit. But yeah, earthly flowers, like we got one right here. Boom. We need, if we get one more, then we can summon somebody like a friend on our friends list. Boom, we got 2. Now that we got 2, we can come to the item crafting. This is the only thing I've been crafting. You can craft one of those, and then you can set these like short keys essentially. So if you're playing on PlayStation, you hold down triangle. You can access your mount by pressing down on the D-pad. You can get off your mount by pressing triangle and down on the D-pad. You can run, and then you can press triangle and then down on the D-pad to jump off of your mount. So this is going to be really useful. Again, triangle down on the D-pad to summon your mount, and then triangle and down while sprinting on the mount to jump off of the mount. But you won't get the mount until you get to the gate front. So the gate front is a little ways up the road. It's not too bad. It's just through some enemies. You can easily run past it and unlock your mount. This is the gate front of Limgrave. This is where you get your mount. And if you look in front of us, I'm going to show you real quick. This right here, this statue represents a map icon. So it'll drop a map icon for you, or a map fragment where you can essentially summon, or not summon, it'll give you a map fragment to the area, but there's various map fragments. So it'll, just to show you where that is, we were right here at the gatefront ruins. The map fragment, literally gatefront ruins. Now another critical area is going to be the Mistwood ruins, and then Mistwood outskirts. Artist shacks are going to be really useful. The Third Church of Marika. Yeah, those are some starting places that you're going to want to go to, essentially. Let me kind of like zoom in. So, from the Church of Ella, first step, we have Waypoint Ruin Cellar. This is going to be a great place to go for a quest line. Mistwood Ruins. This is going to be a great place to go for a quest line. Mistwood Outskirts. This is somewhere later that you'll discover. And then the Third Church of Marika. This will give you access to a portal behind the Third Church that will take you to the Bestial Sanctum for a quest line. And then from the Bestial Sanctum, you can come down here and farm some enemies. Or you can come down here and farm some enemies, which is an even better farm. In fact, if you're still watching this video, we're 31 minutes in. I just want to make this as detailed as possible so you can kind of get a better understanding of like where everything is in this game. If you get here, literally all you need is your horse, and then this ball is going to spawn, and then you just want to double jump. It'll go down and you'll get 2,000 runes. You just rinse repeat that and level up. Now these I would hold off on going in, but these will drop some critical tiers that will help you out a lot. And then we've got the Table of Grace. The Table of Grace becomes accessible after we get our mount. This is a place where we can come to and speak to a lot of NPCs. I had like 3 or 4 NPCs in here, but I've completed a lot of quests and they're not in here now because they've died or disappeared. And then this is where, once you beat your first demigod, you can come here. You can buy boss weapons essentially, or you can go to those walking monuments, and let me show you. You can go to those walking monuments, go inside of them, and then you can duplicate the things that you get from the bosses to make it so you can get all of the items. But yeah, there's these big walking monuments that you'll come across. I don't want to show those because it's kind of spoilery a little bit, but I've kind of shown a lot of spoilers. Through this door, you've got him. Through this door in the back, you've got him. I still don't know what his purpose is. Right here, the twins are also going to be really helpful for you. You want to buy this memory stone. It'll help increase the amount of like memory slots you can carry. So memory slots essentially are where you can carry like your faith spells, incantations, your sorceries. The more memory stones you have, the more memory slots you have available. You're also going to want to buy the stone sword keys from any NPC. Like if you encounter this one NPC in a cave and he's like, no, don't kill me, it's okay, I'll be your friend. Don't kill him. I accidentally killed him, but if you, because he's not a good guy, but in this game he's a good guy. He has stone sword keys in his inventory, so you want to buy those. Stone sword keys are going to be essential for like going through fog walls and finding hidden items. In a sense, this is kind of like a beginner guide to Elden Ring. I'm just trying to go as far in depth of everything that I potentially can. Let's see. What haven't we covered? Messages, multiplayer, yeah. You can leave down messages on the ground. You can write it out. Multiplayer, you can have it set to whatever password. PlayStation, circle is to roll. R1 is to hit. R2 is to do strong attack. Pretty straightforward. Let's see if there's anything else. You've got these Church of Dragon communions. These are where you can buy those dragon spells we talked about earlier that require arcane and faith. Actually, I should come here just to show you, because if you unlock this area, you can only get here through a tunnel, through a cave, to this particular area. But if you come in here, there are going to be like these statues here. You can access them, and then you can buy those. Now right here with Stormvale Castle, you don't need to beat Godric to access this area. You can actually come around to get through there, I believe. But I would just kill Godric. Take out Godric, take out Margit, and then boom. You've got access to all of this. It's just, you've got to find those map fragments. Let's see if I can show you a good example. Okay, so if you zoom in on your map, and you've like free roamed around it, you haven't found a map fragment, there's going to be this little icon right here. This is precisely where map fragments are. You can find map fragments there. Any glowy spot like this. Like that. That's where you can find map fragments. But yeah, I think that about sums it up. Yeah, so vigor, endurance, strength, faith, mind. If you're doing a faith strength build, or faith, well, I feel like it's always going to be faith or strength. Intelligence, strength. You would want to do vigor, mind, endurance, strength, and intelligence. You could also power level any stats however you want. There's one more thing. This is going to be a little bit spoilery. Let's see, where is she? Once you unlock Raya Lucaria, there's going to be... right here, Raya Lucaria Grand Library. This is how to restart your character, and I'm gonna have a video explaining this more in depth. How to respec your character essentially. And this chest over here is locked until the end of the game. Oh wait, oh shit, we probably shouldn't have opened that yet. Okay. But yeah, right here we've got Renala, Queen of the Full Moon, and you can go to cosmetics, and you can finish cosmetics, but she's gonna charge you for this. This will basically allow you to recustomize your character, like their appearance, and then you can respec your character, you can reset your stats, but you need a larval tier. Larval tiers are just random. They're going to be in certain places. They're not random, but they're very hard to find. I think I have like 4 in total from the 100 hours of this game that I've played, if I round it up. This is also going to be a critical area up here. But yeah, that pretty much wraps it up. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it helped you start your character on Elden Ring. I know we're going at like 40 minutes and 40 seconds now. But, yeah, I kind of had to put this video together, go more into detail. Basically covered everything. So, if you're confused, you don't know what direction to take, definitely watch this video. Yeah. Also, when it comes to NPCs, one last thing is don't hit them. Don't be hostile towards them. If you accidentally do that and they disappear, you can come here to the Carian study hall, and once you progress through this area, you get an item that will essentially allow you to... No, not the Carian study hall. What am I saying? Damn, where was it? Okay. Here in like Night's Sacred Ground and Nokron, the Eternal City, you can find a lot of these dews, ancestral dews. Let me show you what they look like. These will allow you to respawn an NPC that you accidentally hit. You don't want to kill your NPC. If you kill your NPC's gone. And here are those larval tears. But these allow you to repent and get absolution. These you have to take to the Church of Vows and then go up to this statue. So if you accidentally hit an NPC, I don't know. I don't expect you guys to be watching this full video. My average view duration is like 2 minutes. So if you're still watching this video, well, I really appreciate you. Thank you. But you come here to atone. You use that sacred dew to do that. But you essentially get those either like in Nokron. I found a couple in Nokron. I found like twice down by like Night's Sacred Wood and Nokron. Yeah, it's a good area. And you can find one of them here. Yeah. It is down here in Liurnia. So in the Carian study hall, you can find one here. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and it helped you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Alright. See you guys later.